Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be deviating from the theme of my channel, and the reason I am doing that is because with the coronavirus that's going around, it is very difficult to find N95 mask when I'm doing my construction projects. And so it has become necessary for me to make my own mask so that I can protect myself from the dust because I'm asthmatic and dust is the biggest trigger of my asthma. So today I'll be making a face mask, and I have tried several methods, and the bird mouth mask, I like it more than the others. But then I find that when I talk, it tends to move down or up on my face, so it doesn't offer enough protection. And I've been observing people when I go out in their homemade face mask, and I have noticed that a lot of the masks are not offering them much protection. It is over their mouths and noses, but it's still not offering them enough protection, because when you're wearing a mask, you should not have air getting in around the edges. Those areas must be sealed onto your face. That is how you protect yourself from whether it is dust, virus, or whatever else it might be. And so I've seen persons, and when you look at them, you can see holes through this section here because the mask is not fitting properly. You can see gaps there. And so that is definitely not a good idea. And so I decided to make my own mask. And the next problem that I have with the face mask is that they tend not to fit everyone. So one size does not fit all. So I decided to mimic the N95 mask that we mostly use for work. And that one offers a lot of protection for me because when I put it on, it is sealed tightly around my face, my nose and my mouth, and I don't have any gap here, even though it does not have that metal that would go over here. So I decided to mimic that style. And so I'll be showing you how I make it so that you can copy it if in case you need it. And also there are a few pointers I want to make regarding the virus and the wearing of the mask. I have noticed that a lot of people wear the mask, it's underneath here and not here. When someone approaches them, then they put the mask over their faces, and then as soon as that person is gone, they take it off again. Now that is absolutely pointless, because one, they say that the virus can stay suspended in the air. At first they were saying 30 minutes, and then I'm hearing that another research is saying that it can stay suspended for 2 hours. Now if you are wearing the mask and you have it here, and when someone approaches, you put it on and you take it off as soon as that person is gone, then how can you be safe? Someone may have just walked by here with the virus and coughed or breathed the virus, and you did not see that person. That person passed half an hour or 2 hours ago. You did not see that person, but that person left the virus in the air right where you're going. Now, because you don't have the mask over your face, you don't have any protection. So when you leave your home, you put on your mask. You keep that mask on your face until you get back home. When you get back home, you wash your hands, then you take off that mask and you put it aside to be washed. The next thing is, if you have to take your mask off, right? If you have to take off your mask because of whatever reason you're going to eat or whatever the case may be, you want to take it off and you want to put it in a bag or some container where it is secured, and make sure you have another one to wear. Now, if you take your mask and you put it underneath your chin here, what's gonna happen is that if the person that passed you had the virus, the virus would be on these areas of your skin because those areas are exposed. But now you take that mask and you put it here, which means that the inside of the mask is now touching the part of your face or your neck that is exposed to the virus. And then you take that mask and you put it back on your face. What you're doing is giving yourself the virus for a certainty. So you don't want to be doing that, and you don't want to be touching your mask every 5 seconds. That your hands can have the virus on it, and you keep on touching that mask, and you're touching everything else. You're touching your glasses or whatever the case may be. You don't want to be touching or moving that mask. Once you put it on, that glasses, the mask, you let it stay there. That is the only way it is going to work. So here we go. Let's get right into showing you how I make my mask. Okay, I'll be with you in a minute. Okay, so this is what the bird beak or the bird mouth mask looks like. It does not have the metal in here, and so I find that as I am talking, you can see that, right? I'm not touching the mask, but the mask is falling down. So I don't like this method because of that, and because sometimes this thing can be annoying around the ears. So I decided not to use this method. I'm going to be showing you the one that I've made. Now, this is the store-bought one, and so this is the design that I'm going to be mimicking. What I like about this design, as you can see, it fits tightly around here. It means that no air is getting in through there. It's going directly through the mask. So I'm fully protected. And as I am talking, you would notice that the mask is not falling off like the previous one that I just showed you. So I have better coverage. The next thing is that the inner layer is made of a non-woven material, and so it provides a better filtering than regular material like this, for example. If you notice when I'm talking, you can actually see, when I'm breathing, you can actually see the mask moving in and out because the space between the threads on the inner layer of the material is so tight. It is not matted or woven, so because of that it provides a better filtering quality. So I'm going to be making that mask now and showing it to you. Okay, so here you'll notice that I have a saucer, and this is 7 inches in diameter. Now I want my material to be not 7 but 7.5 in diameter, so I use this as my template to cut. So I put it on my fabric and I mark around, and then I allow 1/4 inch. When I'm cutting, I go 1/4 inch above the mark line all the way around. Then this material is the lining, the filter. It is non-woven, so that's good. It filters out more than regular fabric. And then here I'm going to be using this as the outer layer. Now in the mask I have 4 stitches to get the shape. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. How I come by where to put these seams? After cutting this, I fold it in half and I notch this end and I notch the other end. And then I fold it the other way and I make sure that the 2 notches lined up perfectly. I don't know if you can see that notch right there. So I make sure they line up perfectly and then I notch this end or that end. Another way that you can do it is to fold it twice into quarters. Then you notch this end and you notch that end. And you do the same thing with this. Afterwards, I fold it in half again. I go 2 to 2 1/4 inch in from the end in, and I go 1 inch down and I sew across here. Then I do the same thing over here, but this time I go 3/4 of an inch from here, from this end to that end, and 2 to 2 1/4 inch in from here to here. Folding it again the opposite way, I go 1 inch in and 2 to 2 1/4 inch in. And then on this side, I go 3/4 by 2 1/4. So I have 2 2 1/4 beside each other. And then at this end, I have 2 1 inch in. Okay? And then that will give you the curve that you want. And then to that, I attach my elastic. To that, I attach my elastic, and from where I have the seam, I attach the elastic where the outer edge of the elastic, so starting going that way from here to here, the outer edge of the elastic is 1 inch away from where the seam line is. And then the same thing for all 4 pieces. So the 2 elastic that is going to be on one side of the face mask, they are both 1 inch away from the seam line. And after putting on that elastic, I usually tack it in place. Then I do the same thing with this. Okay, so let's get started. You might have noticed that I haven't really literally taken a measurement from here to here or from there to there while I'm sewing, but because my parents have been teaching me how to sew from I was about 9, and in addition to that, because of my construction experience, it is easy for me to estimate the distance. So I'd recommend, if you are not accustomed to judging measurement by just looking, then make sure you do your measurement so you can have it very accurate. Okay, so the length of the elastic I'm using has been determined by taking the measurement on the N95 mask. So that way I can get a good fit. Now I'm going to be attaching the elastic. And you want to make sure that the elastic is not twisted. Same thing for the other one. And remember, the outer edge of the elastic is 1 inch away from the seam line on all sides. Now I'm going to turn this in. And I'm going to start sewing it exactly where I have the first elastic, because the space between here is where I'm going to leave open to turn it out. Make sure you're not stitching in unwanted parts of the elastic as well. Now I'm going to turn this out, and then I'm going to flat stitch the end, and then that's the end of it. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. And also click on that notification button so that you can be notified when there is a new video. Now, I won't be making a habit of deviating from the theme of my channel, but as this relates to what I'm doing now, then for that reason I had it in there. just trim this up and then that's the end of it. If there is any topic that you would like me to cover, whether gardening, vermicomposting, or construction, that you would like to see discussed, then please you can leave a comment in the section below, and then I'll do my best to get that topic covered for you. Okay, that's it for now. Have a wonderful day.